TikTok Live Studio is not the best broadcasting software, but recently TikTok gave live streaming access to a lot of people, so in case you don't have any other options, I might as well show you the ropes. Now this is not the first video that I'm making on the subject, but there's a couple of new features here and there, so I'm gonna try to go over everything, but also give you extra tips for specific features. So by the end of this video, you'll be completely ready to stream on TikTok. But first, let's hear a message from our sponsor that might actually help you in your live streaming journey. And today's sponsor is OWN Pro. You may know about OWN because of the ads mostly, and you know that they have the biggest overlay library on the internet. But OWN Pro is their service that aims to give you everything that you need as a streamer, including access to those overlays. So basically how it works is that it is an OBS plugin that you control from the website. All you have to do is log in with your Twitch account, install the plugin, and configure it here. If I want to configure alerts, for example, I can click configure here, then I can check out their alerts library. You might know that they have exclusive license overlays from the Call of Duty franchise, but we're interested in the free stuff. Let's click on this, for example, and this is an example of the alert that we can get. And once you have the plugin installed, you just have to click install, and boom, your alerts will look like this. And installing overlays is just as easy. Just click overlays, pick the one you want, 'tis the season, and just click install, and they'll be ready to use in your OBS studio. OWN Pro offers way more stuff, but I'll let you check it out by going to own.gg/GadLevelPro. That is own3d.gg/GadLevelPro. So here we are in TikTok Live. Up top, we're gonna have some information about the stream, your internet, the CPU usage of the software, your FPS, etc. You can also collapse this if you don't wanna see it. On the left here, you're gonna have your toolbar. I think it's by default collapsed, and you can just do this. This is where you would click if you want to have a multi-guest stream. This is a whole system they already have on mobile that allows you to bring other people into the stream. This window is where you would manage the guest, the invite, the history, and your settings. Next here, you're gonna see live goal. This feature was called wishlist before, and you're gonna watch a little intro video to explain everything. Basically, it's gonna be an overlay that people can click on, and you can choose specific gifts that you would like to be given. And then you have like a bunch of goals. You can be like, oh, I want 10 flowers, 10 ribbons. I don't really know the gifts like that. Whatever, one universe. I think I know the universe is big. And you can set it up here. Quick poll is actually pretty cool and encourages interaction. So those are two bars that will fill depending on how people are voting. Then there's text poll. This is getting like more similar to like Instagram stories. You'll get suggestions here. Will I win the game? Which game would you like me to play next? Blah, blah, blah. And then you can put options, yes, no, or whatever. And the duration. Finally, under tools, we're gonna see subscription. And much like platforms such as Twitch and YouTube, you can actually have subscription where people can subscribe to you for a certain amount every single month. I don't have access to this because I haven't been streaming in the past 28 days, but this is something you can do on TikTok, which is really cool. Anyways, that was the tools. We can collapse that, and we will have our scenes right next to it. And much like OBS Studio, or if you're not used to OBS Studio, basically scenes are like a canvas in which you're gonna add specific things. If you want to switch scenes, it switches the canvas and shows a whole different scene, a whole different set, if you will. For example, I mean, this probably doesn't make any sense to you right now. For example, this is my red scene, as I call it. Let's say that I want a different scene if I'm doing something else. Maybe I want a scene where my camera is huge, and then I want a gameplay scene. Then you can click add scene at the bottom here. And if you already have a scene, just click on it. Oh yeah, another thing that TikTok does now is that they try to give you tips whenever they can. Here it's telling me to use 30 FPS to avoid freezing, whatever, not going live. And this would be, I call it BRB, but this is a different scene basically. Here is where my camera would go, and then at the bottom, I'm supposed to have the gameplay. I don't have a game right now, but whatever. Now, if you have any experience with live streaming in general, my big advice here is to just not use the scenes because they tend to reload every source. I'm guessing it's one way to optimize, but the problem is that it messes up your scenes very often. Sometimes it will reset your browser source, it will reset your camera settings and things like that, and you don't want that happening. TikTok is very, very simple when it comes to the viewing experience. People are not expecting for you to have 1,000 scenes and 1,000 fancy things and stinger transitions and all of that. So my advice would be keep it all in one scene. And if you want to like take a break or something like that, just add an image that would cover the whole thing and just turn it on somewhere. Do I have an image somewhere? And just turn it on and off by just clicking on the eye, right? So if I wanted this image, for example, to be my Be Right Back image, you would create one that says Be Right Back, right? I would just, oh guys, I'm coming back. Boom, turn it on. It covers the whole screen. Maybe there's a little timer, maybe there's a little animation or whatever. Keep it all in one scene. That's my biggest advice. To be fair, my advice overall with TikTok is keep it super, super duper simple. You should have your camera, your gameplay, and pretty much that's it. Maybe one goal, but the truth is TikTok has so much garbage on screen when you're on the phone that it's crucial for you to not have a busy looking stream. Anyways, up top here, you're gonna see something that says portrait mode and compatibility mode and landscape mode. My advice here, once again, keep it on portrait. Keep it on portrait, unless you're streaming something that really needs to be landscape. I don't know, maybe you're a filmmaker and you wanna show like a short film that was filmed in landscape mode. In that case, yes, people will just have to turn their phone. I would say do not use compatibility mode because it basically takes landscape and it cuts the middle to give you the portrait mode. So when people are holding their phone upright, they're just gonna see the middle of whatever you have in landscape mode. Just use portrait mode. You know the typical demographic of TikTok, they're on their phone. Anyways, let me create a new scene just to show you how simple you can really keep it. When you click at the bottom here to add scene, they actually give you a couple of themes, which is quite nice. Like, look at that. So you can quote unquote steal the ideas. You can have an idea of how they kind of want you to be displaying all of that. And there's a whole library now. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now, if none of that is interesting to you, I do have an overlay pack over at gumroad.com/GaelLevel where you can download all of those and use them. It's basically transparent images. You just slap your camera behind it. You slap your gameplay behind it and you're ready to go. You can obviously like modify them, add them twice, crop them if you want the gameplay to be bigger and things like that. But there you go. So that's available for all of you. Slightly inspired, as you can see. How many are there? There's 15. Anyways, TikTok also gives you options. Let me close the library. It's not gonna bring me back to the add scene page. Wow. What you're also gonna see is that there's general and blink. Blink will just create a new scene with nothing. General would actually already give you a display capture, a camera, a goal, and alert, which is something that you would end up adding yourself. Except we're not gonna use the goal. We're gonna use this, we're gonna add it. Nice. So display capture, pretend that this is gonna be like my gameplay and this would be my camera. This is my alert. So you can see everything here is layered. So everything that's on top is going to be on top visually, and everything that's at the bottom is going to be at the bottom visually. You can turn them off by clicking here. You can have extra options by clicking on settings. If there are extra options, you can switch the image here, for example. But when you select them, you can crop, rotate, stretch, pin, all that stuff. And of course, delete. You're gonna see that my follower goal looks a little bit different here. Let's add a new source, and you click on here. And this is where you have your whole list of sources. See, game capture, camera, display, window capture, link. Link is browser source. So if you have alerts from like your YouTube, if you're using things like Streamlabs, StreamElements, and you want to have your stuff here, absolutely possible. Maybe you want to show your followers on Twitch, anything you want to show basically. Video is basically your media source. Cast Android is basically going to ask you to download an app and you'll be able to actually cast your phone screen to TikTok Live Studio. You can even use it as your webcam. Not really. It's just a screen. And if you have a capture card, if you're playing on console, all that is possible. But I want to show you the customization of goals, for example. You click on goal. This is what it looks like by default. If you click add, it's going to bring you here. And as you can see, it has a different appearance. This is where you can set the goal, type a description, and select an alert sound. If we go to appearance, we'll see that they actually have a library. So your goals can actually look pretty good. That is quite nice. So that's a gift goal. I'm going to click add source, and I believe you can't have multiple gift goals on screen at the same time. So that's why we only had option for a gift goal and not another follower goal. I have follower goal here. I can click here and go to settings if I want to modify it. And then you have the colors and all that. Anyways, not that different. One option that I haven't tested yet, but I want to, is the camera filter. So I'm going to click on camera, going to click on settings. First of all, I'm going to pick the right camera. Probably gonna mess up the scale. No, it didn't. Okay, cool. It's way more stable than before. I'm not gonna lie. When you scroll down, you're gonna see that you have some options. Background turn off. There's foreground, and TikTok basically has some sort of green screen effect. Quite impressive that it comes with the broadcasting software, but it's not great. As you can see, it's not great, but you never know. If you just want like a full screen of gameplay, you want to save some space, it's really nice that they have that option. If you want green screen, it will pick a color and then key it out. It's trying right now, but I don't have a green screen. Although I wonder if... Whoa. If I set my LEDs to green, it gets pretty close. It gets pretty close, not gonna lie. Anyways, let's turn that off. And then there's enhance, and we're getting some pretty wild options here. Okay, it just gave me a... Oh, there we go. So it's technically supposed to enhance my face right now. Let me really bring it in. All right, let's see how it's gonna smooth my skin. You can see my pores here. My camera is 4K, so is it doing it? Oh yeah, it's weird. Oh, it's weirdly realistic. I thought it was gonna really get rid of all the details, but wow, okay. There's face shape. What? Oh my. Eyes? Contour. Well, that's weird. Anyways, appearance, and this is where you can actually add a camera overlay directly to your camera, which is, I need to stop saying, which is this, and which is, it is nice. It is nice. I gotta say it. So if I click on it, you can see that here, it adds it to the whole camera. So if you don't want to worry about having your camera and then placing an overlay, you can just add one of their overlays. I just wish I could upload my own overlay and somehow determine like the boundaries, but that's already pretty cool. Pretty nice. Click apply and everything is set. So when you bring stuff, for example, this is the alert. When you bring it on the extremities here, it's going to show you the red stuff. This is basically where TikTok is most likely going to be displaying a bunch of garbage. But also the bottom is going to be the comments. This is where people will see the chat. So you want to be very careful not to put too much like detail, too much information there. Honestly, ideally, you would keep everything just beyond simple, just like that. I would probably have the gift in the middle here, have my alert maybe top right corner or top left in my case, because I have more space. And that would be your setup. Anyways, once you're satisfied with how this looks, you can go on top here where you see the little pencil. And this is where you're going to change some information about your live stream. You can pick a cover image, so you can upload a custom thumbnail basically, or pick auto screenshot. I usually keep it to auto screenshot. You can choose the topic, very important, especially if you're doing gaming. There are pre-existing categories, or you can just put something else. But there's so many now, I think you'll probably find the game you're playing. You put your title, and then you put a little description about yourself. And that's where you'll see your video settings. You can edit them, so you can manually set up your video settings if you like know everything, or you can just tell, I messed up. Let's click on it again. You can just tell TikTok Live Studio to do a speed test. And if you click on it, it's going to test your internet and it's going to recommend you what it thinks is the optimal settings for your live stream. Audience control is very important if you are displaying things like blood or like violent video games and things like that. You want to turn that on immediately, because otherwise like TikTok will detect it. I was playing like a Pavlov VR, and it's basically CSGO in VR. And during the live stream, I was getting notifications saying that, hey, it seems like you're playing a violent video game. Maybe turn your stream to 18+. Moderators, this is where you manage them. You can add them. Oh, my friend Yuna is my moderator. I totally forgot about that. Once you're done, you click save. You're kind of ready. Here you'll see highlight, Control+1. That's basically the clipping feature during the live stream, which is really nice, especially since you can post that clip to TikTok as a normal TikTok video. Record, you can record specific parts, but you're gonna have your whole VOD at the end of the stream. You can also download it, and you can even post at least parts of it. It's better for you to take clips, but you can still segment it. Over here, you'll see turn off the preview. If for some reason you don't want to see the preview, here you can have markup. I believe this is stream markers. Oh no, never mind. Markup is this new feature that allows you to draw on the screen. So if you want to show people something on screen, for example, in the gameplay, you can go ahead and actually draw on it and be like, right there, you see this thing, blah, blah, blah. So if you're doing presentations, it's really, really useful. You can pick the color and you can do a bunch of pretty cool stuff. So that's what markup is. And you can delete all of it, turn it off. There's also mobile preview if you want to see what your stream would look like on mobile. There it is. So remember when I was telling you, make sure that your screen is not full of details and stuff like that. Keep it simple. That's why this is like typical TikTok display is going to look like this. So if you can, honestly, don't even use, like, you can use a background. Don't even use overlays. Don't try to put a bunch of stuff. This is not Twitch. This is very, very different, and you should really think about that. Everything should be clear. You get to decide if you want the camera to be on top, if people are going to focus on you, or if they're going to focus on the gameplay. You can put the gameplay up top and put the camera at the bottom. But yeah, typically this is what it's going to look like. Anyways, one of the most important aspects of live streaming is the audio. If the audio is nice, then your stream quality doesn't matter. But if it's the opposite, if your audio sucks and your stream quality is great, people are not going to stick around. So when you click bottom left here, you're going to see stream quality. You're going to see more options for recording, for example, the format, all that, the hotkeys for using TikTok Live in general. You can set keys to switch between scenes and things like like that. But remember, I told you, please try not to use many scenes. Muting yourself, turning off the camera, taking clips, starting the live, stopping the live, pretty cool. If you use an Elgato Stream Deck, for example, that might be super useful. You just use the hotkey feature and then you have like a Stream Deck to control your TikTok live. All right, I said audio and then I clicked on the wrong thing. Audio mixer is right there. And this is where you get to basically pick your microphone. So right now it's saying that my Antlion microphone, my mod mic is not connected, which indeed it's not. So I can click add to add a new microphone. Adding a microphone will ask you to put the specific device. I have the Elgato Wave XLR mic with the Rode Streamer X. So stream input is going to be Rode. And here you have a couple of options: noise suppression, audio offset if there's a delay you want to set, audio monitoring if you want to hear yourself at the same time. You shouldn't, unless you're setting it up first and then you turn it off. Then you have your volume. Usually I like to turn this up a little bit. My input is usually pretty low, as you can see when I'm speaking. It's not even hitting the middle part, which is, it's not that bad. Then audio default speakers, this is where you want to choose your headset. If you're using a headset, that's what you want to choose. That way you can listen to your alerts. Goal, GIFs, alerts, things like that. You can set up the volume right there. I actually like the compact version of this. Oh my God, I didn't click on anything. Did I click on something? I didn't click on it. Oh, I just... But if you want to mute everything, just click here, boom, and then you can unmute. If you're taking a call, you want some privacy, all of that. And of course, over there, you can mute here individually your mic or the desktop audio. My advice here is pull up a phone and watch the stream for a couple seconds when you start to make sure that your audio sounds good. Do not rely on chat, especially not TikTok chat, to tell you if everything sounds good or not. Because oftentimes I have people streaming 2 hours and realizing their audio sucked. People will just scroll past. It's not their job to tell you if your stream is good or not. You turn off this looks horrible. Oh yeah, by the way, this alert here, you see it being dark like that. It's not gonna look like that on mobile. It's basically showing you where it is, but it's basically gonna be completely transparent until there's an alert. I believe it's not showing it. This is not normal. It's not supposed to show like, it's not gonna show like that, okay? Your alert, the TikTok alert thing is not gonna show like that. Okay, so finally on the right, you're gonna have live stream data. So right now it's showing you the last live, but I believe that it will show you the current data. And this is where you would check like your analytics. You can see like people who followed and stuff like that. Anyways, let's click go back. This is for another video, I guess, depending on how well this one does. Then on the right, you'll have the live chat. So on top, you're gonna have your alerts, your recent events, if you will. And then at the bottom, you're gonna have your chat. You have a couple of options here when you click on the cogwheel. There are certain notifications that you can turn off or on. You can also manage your moderators from here too. You can see your blocked accounts, your muted accounts. I don't even remember blocking those people, but okay. And one of the most important features here is that you can pop out the chat, but it's not just gonna be a regular window. As you can see, it's kind of transparent. This will show up on top of your game if you only have one screen, which is great, which is like a feature I remember Streamlabs implemented it like a while ago, Streamlabs Desktop. There are ways to get it if you're streaming OBS Studio, for example, but it's like a hassle and you have to go through specific services. TikTok has that integrated. So people with only one screen, you can do this. It will tell you that if this doesn't show on top of your gameplay, you need to play it in full, borderless windowed mode instead of full screen. We can click pop in to pop it right back in. And you're pretty much ready to go live. I don't even think I have access right now to go live. I might as well quickly drop in one extra tip. Even though I told you to keep it very, very simple, just in case you want to boost your TikTok experience, your TikTok live stream experience, you can use something called Tikfinity. So it's tikfinity.0d.1. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. But right here, what you can do is connect to TikTok Live. Oh, you can't connect because I'm not live. And once you're connected, you will have a whole lot of options of things that you can display on screen, of channel point systems and rewards and all of that amazing stuff. Because TikTok gives you follower goal and gift goal, but what if you want to show like most recent follower, most recent person that liked the live stream, who shared the live stream? If you want to show all of that, Tikfinity is the way to go. I believe I talked about it in one of my TikTok tips videos. If you're using OBS, for example, you can control Tikfinity via OBS, or you can control OBS via Tikfinity. So when certain events happen, you can have like some actions going on. So this is basically StreamerBot, but for TikTok. There's Minecraft connection. There's a bunch of stuff I haven't even tested yet, but there's a lot. There is a lot, including like an overlay gallery. Every time a viewer sends emojis or subscriber emotes in the chat, they're gonna explode. Those are things that if you're a Twitch streamer, you've seen it before, but hey, this is all possible on TikTok as well. You're gonna have a whole chatbot system with things that people can redeem, song requests, timers, sound alerts, actions, events, just everything, I don't want this video to be too long, but Tikfinity is what you need to look into. So hopefully you will have learned at least a couple of tips in this video. The overall conclusion being, try to keep it as simple as possible. TikTok is such a different platform than any other platform really, that the bar is really not that high for live streaming. The platform is filled with people basically tricking viewers into staying by pretending to stack a bunch of things, or please don't give me this, or I'm not speaking until someone makes me speak, or make me laugh, or so it's like very, very low effort type of streams. So I want you to not overthink it if you're gonna stream video games on that platform, or if you're gonna do anything really. The algorithm is constantly pushing live streams, so you do not need to stream as long as you would on Twitch to get like a little bit of viewership. If you're starting on Twitch from scratch, for example, people will tell you that you should stream 3 hours minimum every single time to even have a chance to get a couple of viewers to just stop by. On TikTok, you can stream just 1 hour and call it a day. You're probably gonna have hundreds of people just at least click on the stream for a little bit, even if they scroll away. For people who are going to multi-stream, so streaming on multiple platforms at the same time, the rules of keeping things simple still apply on TikTok. Depending on how well this video does, I will be making more videos on TikTok setups. Anyways, in the meantime, follow me on Twitch and on TikTok, and I will see you later. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go out there, make me proud, get level, out.